Hi, my name is Leah Chantel, and today I'm talking about how we can use our intellect to help our intuition instead of attack it. And that comes down to several key strategies which help us build our dream life. So the first strategy that our intellect can help our intuition with is the strategy of time management. This is a huge topic, and there are so many different tactics and strategies to organize our time. Today, I'm just bringing it up as a concept of something that we need to manage in general. We need to know how much time we're spending on things that aren't contributing towards our dream life. And we also need to make time for the things that do contribute towards our dream life. And some of the things that contribute towards our dream life, there are some principles that apply to everyone, regardless of what your dream is. Some of the strategies that apply to everyone include things like organizing your time, organizing your money, and organizing your health, and organizing your living space as well. Those things everybody has in common, and everybody can benefit from those strategies. So our intellect can help us realize where we've got holes in our schedule, where we're wasting our time surfing on social media, watching too much TV, gossiping over the phone, or even just getting stuck in traffic or spending too much time food prepping or cleaning. And there's some of these things are not good for us to do in our spare time. Others are necessary, but we don't want it taking up too much time. We want to cut down on some of those activities as much as possible. Like, for example, I think it's very important to keep your living space clean and to spend time on that. But you don't want to go too crazy and spend too much time cleaning your living space. You want it to be clean enough that it functions and you do well in your business and you do well organizing your life. But you don't want to be obsessing to get your window perfectly clean. You see what I mean? Like, that may not be the best use of your time. So you have to organize it and have a strategy to clean the things that are important to you, or to have somebody else clean it for you, and not spend too much time doing that, or alternatively too much money. So the next important priority that your intellect can support your intuition with is making sure you don't have too much clutter or objects in your home. You don't want stuff cluttering up your desk that stops you from working, because you have to dig and look for something that you need to reference in order to begin your work. You also don't want to keep stuff that's draining your time and energy, but you're not really using. So clothing that you bought on discount that's like red with purple polka dots that's like only $5, but it was such a bargain, but you never wear it. Those are the kinds of things they're an energy leak to spend money on it, and they're also an energy leak to have in your closet because you can never wear it with anything, right? So you want to make sure you have a strategy and a plan for your wardrobe. Some people just keep it really simple and wear the same thing all the time. Whatever your strategy is, like, you can have a creative wardrobe or a simple wardrobe, but just make sure that whatever you buy fits into the strategy of your wardrobe. It's not a good bargain if you can't wear something, right? So make sure that, as well as price, you're considering how things will fit into your wardrobe and that your wardrobe is well organized. And it's the same with your kitchen. I think that's actually the hardest place to organize, because we can buy so many things that we might think we need to cook with, and that it's a good investment, and then we don't actually end up using it. And it's the same with food products. We buy a huge amount of sauce and then we never use it, or it takes us 3 years to use it. And I'm speaking from experience. I've actually learned to cook a lot of things from scratch, and people might be like, well, that's not a great use of your time. But if you're efficient and you're well organized and you're quick preparing something, then you don't have all that clutter in the fridge. And so it's an amazing way to keep your fridge organized, so it's easy to get in and out and get what you need. So another strategy that's very important that your intellect can support your intuition with is making sure that you're getting exercise and you're getting good high quality food, and you do your research on that. Regardless of whatever you pick, and I'm going to release my own advice on this, but even if you follow somebody else's advice that resonates, that's fine. As long as you have a strategy for how you're going to be healthy and eat well, that's the important thing. And you also want to have a strategy for whatever livelihood you're going to build out of your passion. And maybe your passion doesn't have to be your livelihood. Maybe it's your hobby on your side. But in that case, then you need your day job to support yourself. You should have a strategy for either your day job or your passion, that's your side business, or both, in order to succeed and grow and develop either in your day job or in your business. That's also very important. And you also have to have strategies in terms of how you make time for your relationships. Your relationships are important and you don't want to completely neglect them, but you can overdo it on your relationships and be too available to people dialing you up and complaining. That's not good either. So you want to have a balance where you're having quality time with the people you care about and you're building a beautiful life with beautiful relationships, but they're not taking your time that you so desperately need. If you're preparing a lot of things for another family member, like food or clothing, or you're cleaning or whatever it is, you need to be cautious that those activities are not taking too much of your time and they're taking away from your passion or your hobby or even your day job. You need to have enough gas in the tank to be able to take care of those very important priorities. And if helping with things at home is taking too much of your time and energy, then you need to have a conversation about that with your family and make sure that you're setting good boundaries with them. If they can assist with things and they have more time and energy to do so, then they need to be pitching in and making sure that your household is in order. These are some of the key strategies that I would say your intellect can help your intuition with. And when these different areas of your life are organized, then your intuition has a better shot at guiding you to your purpose and to your life path, because you have the energetic space to find your life path. And one more organizational takeaway I'll leave you with before we end the video today is that you can use your intellect to help you organize your money. And that's a really good strategy as well. So many people who follow their passion, I've noticed online, seem to run into money troubles because they put so much time and money and energy being the best that they can be at their passion that they accidentally overdo it and mess up their money. How do you avoid doing something like that? Well, you need to make your money spending conscious. I'm not saying you could never make a big purchase on something. If there's an important networking or educational event you need to attend, then I'm not saying never spend money on that. I think the key areas where you want to save your money are the day-to-day things that you need, but you don't want to overspend on, like the winter coats or your wardrobe or your food. Like, there's nothing wrong with spending a bit more money on something that is really creative and you really enjoy, but you don't want it to become an energy leak, and you don't want those things to take away from your higher purpose and the more important activities that you need to do and that you need to save money for. And so you want to find ways to cut your costs in your life where it makes sense and it's practical. And one of the ways that I do that is that I try to spend money in cash or on debit as often as possible rather than on credit card. That's not to say I don't use a credit card at all, because I think it's very difficult to live without a credit card and you do need one at times in your life to make certain purchases. But what I do is I keep a low balance on it and I use it as little as possible. I try to organize everything through cash and debit. And when I do that, I'm much more aware of where my money is going and I'm not screwing up and overspending on something that I don't need, because every time that I pull out my cash or I pull out my debit card, I'm keenly aware of the balance that's in there and how much I'm spending on an area of my life. Whereas I find when we put everything on credit cards, there's nothing wrong with credit cards, but if you put too much stuff on there, it tends to have a high limit and we can just really easily lose track of what we're doing on credit cards. 45% of the Canadian population and 55% of the American population are carrying a chronic balance on their credit card that they don't pay off in full. So that's a good statistic to know. That means 1 in 2 people you know have a credit card balance and they can't pay it off in full this month. And so they're carrying it month to month at a high interest rate. And you don't want to be one of those people. I mean, if you are, it's okay. And you can work towards paying it off by changing your financial habits. It's definitely doable. But the way to not get there in the first place is to just use your credit card as little as possible and keep a very low balance on it so you never lose track of what you're doing with it. Because it's very human, we all get so busy doing things that are important to us. We can work incredibly hard and it's just so easy to neglect. It's like neglecting our bodies and not being fit. We can neglect our credit cards as well and just not realize that we've accidentally spent too much when we've had very low gas in the tank and we've had very low energy at the end of the day. So don't make that mistake. Make sure you're very aware and you're keeping track of your health and your finances along the way, and that'll really help you avoid a potential disaster of a deadly illness or a huge debt that could come up later when we're ignoring those facets of our life. Keep track of them as you work towards your dreams, and then you'll be going in the right direction. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. If you have any comments about helpful intellectual strategies that can support your intuition and support your passion in life, I definitely love to hear about that in the comments below, because I'm guessing that all of my subscribers are pretty sophisticated and have some strategies and ideas of their own of how they organize their own lives. And I'd be really happy to hear that feedback and see what you have to say on that topic. If you enjoyed the video that I put out today, definitely click like on it, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new here, and you'll see more content about how to support your intuition with good intellectual strategies and how to get along as a sixth sensory person who believes in their intuition with people who don't always necessarily believe, because I think opposites attract, but they also attract for a really good reason, and that we can all learn to get along together and be our true authentic selves and build really happy lives. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Take care. Bye now.